Hey folks, good afternoon. We're back at the lean-to, the fort today. We're going to do a little improvement to it. What we're going to do is make a fire reflector. This is for the Bushclass series on Bushcraft USA. Bushclass, it's a forum, go check it out. You won't be disappointed if you're into this kind of stuff. All kinds of cool folks over there. They will be glad to help you out, give you tips. Hopefully no one gives you ticks. Ticks suck. But they'll give you tips, tricks, and just all kinds of cool knowledge over there. A lot of good folks. So if you get a chance, go over to Bushcraft USA and go on the Bushclass link. It's a sub-forum on that forum. That's what we're doing. We are making... Check it. We're going to make this. But I didn't actually finish this. I'm going to go up a little higher with it. You know what? I was going to tear it down and then rebuild it and then show you step by step how I did everything. But what I'm going to do is, it's just a waste of time. So what I'm going to do is real quick, I'm going to show you, this is hemlock. All this wood here, this is all hemlock. This here is a piece of, I want to say it's a piece of beech. I think I used beech or hickory. Any of the wood guys. You guys who know your wood. I'm pretty sure that's hickory or beech. I forget what it was. A couple weeks ago I cut this. I made this. So, but I cut a notch in it. I think you've seen in one of my last videos. This makes a nice little spot to hang your pot from. Bush pot. Hangs from there nice. I made the video where I made the bush pot hanger. Right? Poor little tree. I don't even know if that tree's worth taking. I only need like 2 more pieces. It'll work, right? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the tree that you just seen me cut, and then we're going to process that down into what we need here to finish this off. Then when we're done, what we're going to do is we're going to trim these down to where they belong, because these are way too long right here. So we'll go from there. Alright, so stick around. Alright, I was all set to use this. I was looking at it, man, this is a junk piece of wood. It's all punky. I don't want this on my fire reflector. I'm better off making some charred punk out of this. I mean, this isn't good material. Actually, it's good, actually, to show this to you. This here isn't good material for making a fire reflector. If you're going to use dead trees, use stuff that isn't punky and gross. Like, you know, this has gone the other way. I made that out of green hemlock, the actual fire reflector that I showed you guys. And that's going to last a long time. I think that's the only actual green trees that I used in this, aside from like my pot hanger and some cooking utensils, stuff that's going to be in the fire and the flame. I used green wood for that, and some of the stakes that I have in the ground, only because it's not going to rot as quickly. You know, so I use a very limited amount of actual green wood. Like the entire lean-to was built out of dead standing. I didn't use one piece of cordage in the whole thing. And the first cordage I'm actually going to use is to tie the vertical pieces together. Anyways, so yeah, moral of the story, I'll probably use this as firewood. You know, maybe I'll burn it up. I am going to start a fire tonight and have a beer or two before we're done here. So yeah, not good. Actually, and here's a piece, because what I was going to do was just take a piece off of each side of the fire reflector and use that as a measuring stick. Right here, this is good. This is green. I cut this probably a week or two ago and built the fire reflector out of it. I'm going to use this to build it a little taller, but like I said, no good. So this is firewood. But what I did do, I got this. I got it in my little firewood pile. I got this. I didn't even cut it. Boom. I think this will actually fit on the side that this goes, right? They're about the same length. So that'll do that. And I know just from looking, this is going to be on the back side. So there's another piece for each side. So I think that'll work. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the whole build on this. I mean, you see what I did here. These are all driven about between 16 and probably 26 inches into the ground. Some of them are driven really deep into the ground. So, take this. Just going to keep building it up like we were. Take both of these, stick them back over here. And then we're going to tie these together and cut them off. So let's do that. Alright, I figure solid 3 feet. So over here to this one. Onto there. Now paracord will slip after a fashion. And I didn't bring any bank line with me. So use what I got, right? Crisscrossing through it. A little crisscross applesauce. Throw a little frapping on it. If you don't know what frapping is, here, check this out. Where you want around it. You want to tighten that up more. Go around it. Like that. It's weird, like, we'll go around it 3 times. 2 and 3. And that's that. Put together our saw, we'll get that cut off, and then those two will be done. And it's just rinse and repeat on the other ones, and I'm not going to make you guys sit for that. I'll just do those off camera. You see how it's done. Definitely not splitting atoms. Even the paracord on this is stretched out over time of using it. chamfer the ends on these. Finish them off, you know, make them look good. In the case I ever have to pound on them again. I'll be able to do it. Without splitting them. And it'll keep them from splitting too. Even as they sit here and dry out, these are going to want to split over time. But just chamfering the ends like this helps the wood stay together. I don't know why. If you're a wood guy and you're watching this, let me know. Or maybe just somebody who knows more than me about it. This one here is actually already small enough. This is about where I want it. So I'll tie this one over to it like that. This one here, zoom back out. This one here isn't going to get tied to anything because I got plans for this whole side over here. I'm going to have wood storage. Comes off the side of this just for some dry firewood. So this is going to go over. This is fine by itself, basically, is what I'm saying. And then these two here, just tie them together like we did the first two. So easy peasy, right? I'll see you guys when it's all done. Alright, so we have one, I would say, completed fire reflector. And honestly, do these things even work to reflect the heat? They do a little bit. What is it? Far North Bushcraft and Survival, Lonnie, he did a test to see if a fire reflector actually does anything. And he showed that no, they do not. And I agree with him. But here's the thing. I think if you put two sides, or even three sides, on that fire reflector, like if I put another side over here, I mean, this would actually hold heat. And it would bring it towards, you know, it would hold it in the lean-to. You know, it's going to keep the heat in my area. So in my opinion, now I'm not an expert on very many things. Fire reflectors definitely being one of them. I only know what I've seen and used, which isn't a whole lot. But I can tell you, if you put just one smoke reflector right here, or fire reflector, it's going to, what that's going to do really, it's not going to so much reflect heat, but it's going to give your smoke something to draw up. You know, smoke wants to draw itself to things, cold things. You know, one thing I do know a lot about is the behavior of smoke and fluid dynamics. The smoke is going to want to go to something cold. The smoke wants to cling to walls. It wants to cling to stuff. Okay, so it's going to be drawn with no wind. Let's take wind out of the equation. The smoke's going to want to be drawn to something behind it. Okay, it's just the way it works. It wants to be drawn. It has to do with the ions. If the object is cold, the smoke gets drawn to it. It's an ionic thing. Now you may be wondering to yourself, where do you get all this knowledge about smoke and fire and all that? I'm a volunteer firefighter. I went through all my training on basically how fire behaves, which is fire and smoke. But I also learned a lot because I spent about 5 years doing disaster relief, which is basically smoke, fire, water, and mold restoration on people's homes and businesses. And smoke, like regular wood smoke, pretty much any smoke is going to be drawn to your walls and your windows, your glass, crystal, all that stuff. We can save that topic for another time because I could probably talk to you about that for hours and you'd probably be bored to death. So that's that. Basically, one side, long story short, you got one fire reflector. All it's going to do is draw the smoke up. If you're lucky, it's going to reflect light back towards your shelter too. That's also a good thing. But as far as reflecting heat, not a whole heck of a lot. Now if you throw two sides or even three sides onto your smoke reflector, now you're actually talking holding heat in, because now you're actually holding the heat, but you're going to be holding the heat in the area where you're hanging out, you know, if you put extra sides on it. So that's that. That's a fire reflector. Alright folks, that was the fire reflector for Bushclass USA over on the Bushcraft USA forum, subforum Bushclass USA. If If you enjoyed the video, like, share, subscribe, comment. Love comments. I like interacting with you guys. It's a lot of fun. Some of you guys are know-it-alls. Some of you guys are cool. Even the know-it-alls are cool. Because guess what? I'm a know-it-all too. But I don't really know it all. So anyways, I love hearing from you guys. I like learning new things. You guys, there's always somebody has something to offer to any discussion. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys joining me on stuff like this. All your subscriptions and support. Leave a question in the comments. I'm on Bushcraft USA on the forum. I'm Adirondack American on there. Instagram, ADK Pratt underscore. On Instagram, I'm ADK Pratt. And Facebook, Adirondack American. It's my group page. So check it out. Alright guys, enjoy. Get outside, have fun.